Hey guys, if you see this video, you know what day it is. It's Mondays. Behind me, of course, you know my book. We're going to talk about the McKinnens. Before I get started, what I'd like everybody to do, if you can, is like and subscribe and share. Share your thoughts. Tell people about it. This is the type of book that you want to share with your community. Talk about, have really good conversations to indulge you, to open up about, to get into that discourse of discomfort and things that bother us as people in general. So I think it's important. We're on chapter 2 today, so it's episode 2, chapter 2. I'm going to get right into it. Kevin replied, "I have seen different colored people before, but don't tell anyone. It's a secret." I had more questions, but the bell rang, and Kevin, like always, hangs out with the crowd that he goes everywhere with. The crowd he normally hangs out with wears designer clothes and has all of the expensive shoes and backpacks every year and never wears the same things twice. Honestly, I don't know how he does that because I have favorite clothes that I like to wear over and over again. Plus, I don't have much to choose from, but that doesn't bother me in the least. Few things here. Molly is developing a friendship, or has a friendship over time, which I believe if all of us have done. I know some of you guys have had friends since elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, fifth grade. I've heard people before, and you develop these friendships through the communities and the environment that's provided in school. School provides that, right? You have kids who are in the same grade, around the same age groups, in a room together with a teacher such as myself, and they're going through the same adversities together. I'm having trouble with this. Can you help me? Can we help each other? And it's often, even now, encouraged through pair share and group sharing, things of that nature. And I think it provides a sense of community, and it's good academically. Unfortunately for Molly, in this case, Kevin is getting close to her, and they're getting closer to each other. And Megan, the other friend, as well, because of their strengths. They're able to help each other through different trials in class, and they provide a sense of community in the classroom. I know some people have gone through this before, where you have certain friends in class, but when you go outside to recess or something social or super social, where that's the primary goal, where academics aren't involved, people split up and go their different ways and have different friends and have different things that they do with different people. And I think sometimes that either can be important or protective of someone else that you care about, or it could be dismissive and discriminatory, which in this case, as some of you guys know who have read my book, you know that that is the case. It's discriminatory, and it's something that's not fair, and Molly doesn't understand, and she strives to find out. Now, the big thing here in this particular chapter is I kind of gave you a sneak peek at what's coming. Kevin has a lot of information due to his name, Kevin Crow, and the power and the privilege that he holds and things that he hears from his parents and his family members, and that family legacy, right? Those in power have more information typically. And because his closeness with Molly and her curiosity and the way that she approaches life with a sense of knowledgeable open arms and welcoming of curiosity. And that's another thing we'll talk about in a second. And a welcoming of curiosity. It's intriguing. And he felt like he can tell her because he felt that she can keep a secret. Colored people, right? In my book, of course, you guys know the background is Jim Crow laws. Everything is segregated. Molly's really curious about it. A lot of people are not, because this has happened generationally, and the elders know about it, but they don't speak about it because they don't want to get in trouble. But Molly finds out about this and is very curious for her. She kind of knew because of her knowledge of biology and insects and animals, knowing that they're different color animals, and just trying to figure out why there isn't different colors where I'm living. And he kind of gives her a seed of thought, should we say. And she kind of takes that. Of course, if you read the chapter, she kind of takes that and it's like, okay, how else am I going to get this information? I need to know what's going on here. The social constructs, right? You have your social group that has the most expensive, does the most expensive. And I think that's one of the things as a teacher that I notice in a school system that can be a focus and sometimes takes the focus and the priority over academics and education. I've seen many instances where the kids have it all as far as visually, but in the classroom they give up and they tend to rely on that visual construct rather than focusing on the rigor and the adversity that they need to get through. Molly is comfortable with it. She's knowledgeable enough to know that logically having a different pair of clothes or different clothes every day, and we're never wearing the same thing, doesn't logically make sense, and it's not necessary, and she's comfortable with that. I think at times most of the academically inclined students overlook it because it's really, in the long run, it's not important. You got billionaires and trillionaires, not trillionaires, but you got billionaires and millionaires out there, for the most part, don't look like they care too much about their fashion because that's not important. Your visual appearance is important to a certain extent. After that, it's what's behind the eyeballs, what's between the ears, right? So Molly has it between the ears. She's very curious, she's very intelligent, and she doesn't really focus on that. But I put that in the book because it can be a point of emphasis sometimes in the classroom, and sometimes it happens with parents, right? Because they can't give their time to their children or give them everything else. And one thing I've learned and one thing I know and understand as a teacher and as a parent is that all your kids want from you is time. They want your eyes connecting with their eyes so that you're listening to what they're saying, you're playing with them in whatever aspect, you're in the same space, you're sharing the same interests, you're doing something with them. And that's what's important. And Molly has that, right? And Kevin, in a sense, does not. Not as much as he would like. And you're going to see that sense of trauma on Kevin's side kind of expand a bit. Not much, but a little bit. A couple more things of thought for this particular chapter. When social pressure is introduced to children, it happens gradually. Everybody is okay with everybody in preschool, kindergarten, and first grade, second. Then things start to shift a little bit, right? You'll start to notice and see different things. Students start to fall a little bit academically, begin to get frustrated, and have all those other things, the new shoes, the new clothes, the new haircut every week. But academically, they're just falling short because of the lack of attention or importance of academics in the classroom. And sometimes it's not the parents' fault. Sometimes they can't be there and spend as much time as possible. And sometimes, and it's unfortunate, I've heard it quite a bit around about from other students, is that sometimes your parents kind of, school's not their thing, and because it's not their thing, they kind of leave it all up to the instructors. And I think that's unfortunate. And in that case, sometimes parents put too much responsibility on their child too early, and they have to grow up. And when a child has to grow up at a rapid rate and has all of these responsibilities, in some cases, their mental role shifts from "I'm not a child anymore." And when they do that, they lose that curiosity. And I think that's poisonous for a child in school, because your curiosity is what drives you to get the answer correct, to find the steps, to figure out how to get this answer or write this paragraph correctly. That curiosity fuels a child. And when a child is forced to grow up prematurely, and sometimes they have these parental roles, but are not mature enough to handle it, and they're still children at heart, but they mentally think, "Oh, I'm grown." Like, I've had many students in my class, tell me, "I'm grown." I'm like, "You're 10. You're still a child. You're still a baby. You only been here 10 years. Be a child. Focus on that." Because, I didn't tell them this, but it's their curiosity you're killing their curiosity in a sense. They're losing that fuel to learn. And then they get frustrated and they want to distract the classroom and they want to talk about the things that they have that are tangible, but not as important as your academic structure and your growth. So I took this paragraph as a page from my experiences as a teacher and what I've seen, and put it into Molly's perspective, who was someone who thinks logically and knows it's not really important. I don't understand why they're doing that. And I hope that can, maybe influence some other kids or teenagers who read the book. Because it's, the book, of course, most of you know who have read it. The book is not for the primary school age. It's more for high school because of what's going to happen to Molly and what's going to happen to the family and the things that happen that are more age appropriate for that particular age group, and adults, of course. But this perspective of Molly is very logical. She knows and understands a lot, but is curious to learn and know more. And she's going to be tested quite a bit. So, again, like and subscribe. That wraps up day 2, week 2, Monday 2 of the McKinnens. I'm going to start putting out some more content based around my thoughts. I need to open up more, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my mindset with you guys. I'm going to have mindset Melvin's coming up as well. So I hope you guys tune in and take a look at those. There'll be quick little shorts. Just going to kind of give my perspective, my point of view, allow you guys to get to know me a little more. And also, again, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out the McKinnens. It's a very self-reflective read. So hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next week.